Hey guys, how you all doing? And welcome back. And today we're going to be working on a fan art that I've been planning on doing for a while. It's Zone Tam from Zone Archive. So if a lot of you don't really know, around the time like late 2000s, early 2010s, they make an adult oriented kind of like animations, you know. But for a lot of you who don't know, they do like a little series on YouTube for a little bit. It's kind of like ZTV News kind of thing, and a lot of funny shit on the stuff that they've done. So we're gonna be working on Zoltan here, and the piece is just a lot. It was a lot of work, but it just turned out better than I thought it was going to be. Because I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to try out on the piece, but never got to try it out. If you kind of catch my drift here. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that now. So I pretty much got like a base down of the pose I want to do. And pretty much the rest of the way I've been getting a sketch all made up from there. Just helps out with the time, you know, my normal like routine that I do like when it comes to recordings and live streaming. So speaking of live streaming, I will be coming back in about a week. Not this coming week, but you know, the following week I will be streaming again. So pretty much, like, while I was working on Zoltan here, it took me a while to try to get her likeness down to the T, but it was a really interesting challenge because like the eyes are a little bit different through like the other pieces that I've done. So trying to get these eyelashes to look similar to the original design, but try to push it a little more to give it a little bit more detail. Yeah, I did a lot of corrections with the face. There's a couple times it's like, I don't like it, you know. So you'll be seeing me do a lot of corrections on this. But as like character design wise, it's a very simple design. That's the only simple part about it. So in the ZTV News series they done and the kind of in the content they make, they have this little tentacle looking creature named Lemmy, which I found out that is a reference to Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. But so I had the idea adding Lemmy in because that is like part of her, part of her like character pretty much. So getting started on the line art, the hair honestly was like the easiest thing out of the whole thing. Because it's like her hair in the back is pretty much somewhat hidden because of the pose that I did. Because like if I would have done the pose a little bit more differently, then you'll see the hair a little bit more. And the way the hair looks, it's curled, like a big curl of the entire hair towards the bottom in a way. So trying to bring it out somewhat to make it, you know, be able to show it. And gotta tell you, it's definitely interesting. I've never done tentacles before. I don't know if I'm gonna do tentacles again. It's not my thing. But it was something like a really interesting challenge to the piece. So, getting the eyelashes going, add a little bit of extra flair to the main parts of the pattern. But I'm definitely happy how the eyelashes turned out. It's very similar to the original design. Happy with it. And you guys know me, like, that's my favorite part of making the pieces, is doing these eyelashes. Getting Lemmy down. He's pretty much set. So getting the final details of the hair to get everything pretty much tied up for getting started on the coloring process. But yeah, it's almost like a corkscrew in a way. The way the look of the idea and everything. Here we go. Now we're getting started on the color process, getting the hair base down, and start doing the grayscaling. And as you can see, it's like I went through a lot quicker than like these other pieces I done. They're like a lot more in depth. Good old Coke. So pretty much like, as for like the darker tones for the grayscaling, there's not a whole lot that I needed to do on that. Because it kind of works like a shadow in some degree. So if I put a little bit too much, then I'll make the details of the hair a little bit more darker look. But I still need to leave out the lighter tones, so when I do the color mixing, start doing, not the color mixing, do the grayscaling. Not speak. Doing the gradient mapping, and so you can be able to get all the colors to pop out correctly. So trying to follow her color pattern and everything. So it's not really crazy colors. It's pretty much just simple purple shades. Then go ahead and get the skin tones and the clothes and everything, pretty much getting the base of the rest of the character down. Yeah, trying to get the idea of make it look like Lemmy's kind of pushing up towards like the skirt part of the, I don't know what you call it, like a sweater slash dress, pretty much. So trying to make it look like he's pushing up a little bit, you get a little peek of the panties there. A fun little idea. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I like listening to music when I make my pieces. For some reason, Black Sabbath was like the go-to inspiration for working on this. I don't know, it's like anytime I listen to music, I go anywhere between like heavy metal music to soft rock, so like anywhere from like Machine Head to Pink Floyd, really. So I don't know, it seems like certain songs tend to hit a little differently when I'm making a piece. Sometimes it actually gets me like inspired to make certain things to the pieces, or, you know, coloring. You know, it's Music is like a big draw when it comes to making everything. And Black Sabbath was like the thing that worked. I need to start doing that more. Like, start doing, start telling you guys what music that I listen to making these pieces. Because it's not often that I did mention that. Or, you know, on stream as well. And as for like the piece that I'll be working on when I come back, it's gonna be a Persona like fan art pretty much. Someone recommended that the last stream that I did about a month ago. So now to get into their logo pretty much. It's like it does show up a couple times on the design. You got the hair piece that's like on the right side of the head and the shirt. Then go ahead and get the eye color down, which nothing drastic on detail, just pretty much just shades of blue. Kind of play around with the different varieties of blues to kind of give it a little bit of a punch. So they did little corrections on the skin tones, because like she has like a very bright skin color, so sometimes it's really difficult to figure out if it's more like a brighter shades of like the yellow, more like the yellow side of the skin tones, or you know it's like it's very difficult to figure out at times when you're trying to figure out on color on someone's skin tones at times, depending how bright it is. So we got the skull hair piece though. Now we're pretty much getting started. Let me hear. And I didn't want to just do like a smooth look on the tentacles itself. What I did more is, you'll see here in a sec, that I add a little bit like darker shades throughout the tentacles to kind of give it like a texture look to it. So right there, it kind of gives it look like it's not totally flat or smooth, not totally smooth, but it still has like a little bit of like lumps, a little bit. And it's like, it kind of gives a little bit more to kind of, it makes it work with the details of the character herself. And when working on Lemmy here, I want to make sure to kind of, complements with with these extra details. Skin, now the shadowing took me a little bit. Because like the way the light is pointing is like more like front, maybe turn a little bit to the left from the character, so it's not like looking up or or looking down, so it's pretty much almost like somewhat forward, right front of her in a way. And while working on the shadowing of the character, like I was happy how the face turned out when it got pretty much finished on the shadowing. It does help when you're doing like faces and stuff like that, and do a little bit of shadowing helps get an idea what the figure of the jawline is going to be, eyes and such. Yeah, the zone itself, it's this very, now it's considered old school nowadays, but grew up the early days of YouTube, you know, the what I call the golden years of YouTube, between 2000s, you know, when they got started, and the early 2010s. It's like there's not so much rules going on back then, but especially it's around time when got to Newgrounds, stuff like that, which they have their stuff there majority of the time. But like, I will be posting stuff on Newgrounds here soon. I have a lot on my plate, so I keep forgetting about it. Same thing with DeviantArt. Now the shadowing to the hair, you start to see it get extremely in depth. It's starting to get its shape and everything. And made the, I didn't mention it about the hairpin, but what I did with the hairpin, setting out like just a flat, you know, shades and everything, kind of make it look like it's been, this is like, we're talking about a term here for like automotive side of things, what's called like powder coating. And powder coating in the, with cars, you know, with metal and everything, it's kind of like paint, but when you, the way the guys did it, they spray pretty much that, almost like a powdery kind of substance that sticks to the metal, almost like paint. It looks flat when you finish coating the entire, like, what is say, a rim, for instance. And they take it to this massive oven and bake it for, I don't remember how long, but several hours pretty much, for what I'm thinking. And then when it's done, it looks polished. You know, it's almost like no different to like baking your, baking your clay pot that you painted on. And then when it was after it was done baking, it looks very shiny, colors look great. So it's pretty similar. So anyways, I did something like similar, like the idea with the hairpin, make it look like it's somewhat like powder coated with the logo on it, so it makes it look a lot more shinier. That's just to say that I decided to want to add into the piece here. Lemmy's getting shadows in. But it's like, the further I got on the piece, the more that I started experimenting with. And that's why it took me a little bit longer to get this done. But it's like, I want to try this, I want to try that. It's one of those pieces like I got so hooked on, I just do not want to stop. So get the cell shading down for Lemmy. And I pretty much got started trying to get an idea how I'm gonna do the more like lighter effects, so make it look like he's not just like a flat kind of tone to the character, but it actually looks shiny in a way. And what you're gonna see here from now on, like I made it look kind of like moist in a way. I can't stop staring at my monitor with my V2 model. Like, I wish I can set it up so I can see you can track my full reactions, but still try to figure that out. But the eyebrows. Alright, so pretty much getting like the final like details to the skin tone, so like the blush and everything. And now we're pretty much getting to the more lighting kind of stuff, so like underglow and lighting in itself. there's a couple parts that I did forget to do it on Lemmy, which you will end up seeing on the video. But when you see the unveiling of the picture, it's been taken care of. It's like when you're trying to crunch on time and you try to get it done, sometimes you just forget a couple things, you know. Add a little bit of lining to the sweatshirt dress. I'm not sure the term for it. To kind of get a little bit more depth, so not look so flat, because it will look a little bit brighter. And I got started with using this new pen that I found. It makes like a liquid texture, like a liquid pretty much. So it make it look like Lemmy is, you know, wet slimy. Which there's like a little bit of detail side done to Lemmy as well that make it look like, kind of make it look like there's like, yeah, there we go. So pretty much sketching out how I wanted to make the like the slime pretty much. I mean, not sure the term. I mean, it makes sense to the kind of character this is. But for people that like to see like comedy kind of stuff like this, check out Zone Archive, I think it's the YouTube channel. Yeah, look up for the ZTV News stuff. It's fun. It's funny. But not for kids, please. If any kid watching it's why you watch it in the first place. Unless you're adult supervision, who knows. But kids don't watch that stuff right now. Recommended it to anybody that likes the comedy and everything. Especially the golden years of YouTube. And it's like Zone inspired a lot of like not safe for work artists and animators to this day. It got me inspired to get into more like the more pinup kind of stuff, you know, like Zone's like the original like hentai kind of company or producer, I guess you can say it. Inspire a lot of artists, and especially towards VTubers too. And pretty much playing around with some fun little details to the eyelashes, because I'm going to start adding a little bit of color to them, just do something a little different. You know, I was having a problem with my light brush for some reason. You'll see me jumping around quite a bit. That green color Lemmy looks great. So now we're getting close to finishing, doing the background now, and kind of get an idea how I want to do it. So I made like a collage of the Zone skulls into the background, especially the shadowing. Played around with the filters a little bit. Yeah, like the skull really adds a lot to it. And then that is pretty much it. So give me a quick sec and get that new picture up here for you guys. Here. There we go. So pretty close to the likeness. A lot of like things that I have to do differently to kind of make it close as possible to Zone Tan. But appreciate you guys hanging out, watching the video. If you like it, give a subscribe or subscribe to for more videos, and also check me out on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky for updates for the live stream that's going to be happening here in a week or two. So have a good one, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.